Center of Windsor. And welcome to everyone online who are on either Facebook or on YouTube. You are so welcome to be here. My name is Linda, and this is Reverend David, co-hosting with me today.
The Unity Movement embraces the inherent worth and diversity of every individual, fostering an environment of acceptance and respect for all people, without distinction of any kind. We come together to encourage and support one another in our individual spiritual journeys. And wherever you are in that process, we're so glad that you joined us today.
While it is a well-traveled land, we would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land in which we gather today is the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi peoples. We are grateful to work and learn and live in this area. Now I'd like to introduce our musicians. We have Angela and Michael, so welcome.
We are really so blessed to have such a wonderful music team.
Yeah.
Thank you both for
Sure
being
are.
part of this. You do a great job. And I do want to introduce and thank Linda here for being our hostess today.
Well, thank you.
And also I want to point out Leo over there. He's taking care of all of the videos and everything. So let's give him a hand too.
Yeah, good work.
We appreciate our volunteers.
Now I'd like to open our service with an opening prayer. So just center yourself, reach up to your presence. There is a scripture in Mark chapter 4, verse 24 that says, "Pay attention to what you hear. The measure you give will be the measure you get, and still more will be given you." I welcome every gift, and I appreciate every giver. Knowing that a kindness I've offered or a gift I've given has blessed someone brings me joy. Likewise, my happiness in receiving allows others to know that same joy. Giving is easy, but receiving can be a bit of a challenge. I have been taught since childhood that giving is better than receiving, but I understand it differently now. If I ever feel as though I am not deserving of what is being given or offered, I remember I am God's beloved child, fully deserving of every good thing on earth. The goodness of God flows through many channels, some expected and others not. When a blessing comes my way, I receive it graciously, grateful that I am in the flow of God's abundance. Amen.
Thank you, Linda. I do want to remind everyone that we do have a prayer chaplain that will be available in our prayer chaplain room upstairs directly after service for any of those of you who would like someone to pray with you. And Susan Fabreau over here, she is our prayer chaplain for today, and she would be delighted to pray with you after the service.
And there's a prayer request box right here. So if you have anyone that you are thinking about that needs prayer, please put them on the list. They are prayed over for, I think, a month by our prayer team, and then they go to Silent Unity. I just want to remind you also that there is prayer 24 hours a day for 7 days a week with Silent Unity. The phone number is 1-800-NOW-PRAY.
Well, now's time for our first song, and actually followed by our second. So if you are willing and able, I invite you to stand up and let's sing a couple of songs together.
There are no no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. You are free, you are unlimited. There are no chains that bind you. You are free, you are unlimited. Right now, right now. You are free, you are unlimited. There are no chains that bind you. You are free, you are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. We are free, we are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free, we are unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of the darkness, shining. Radiant love of the world, shine upon us. Set us free from the truth you now bring us. Shine on me, shine on me. Shine, light, oh shine. Fill this land with your light and glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word. Spirit, let there be light. Lord, I'm here in your loving presence. From the shadows into your radiance. By your love may I enter your brightness. Search me, try me, consume all my darkness. Shine on me, shine on me. Shine, light, oh shine. Fill this land with your light and mercy. Praise, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word. Spirit, let there be light. As we gaze on your Spirit's brightness, so our faces display your likeness, ever changing from glory to glory. Mirrored here, may our lives tell your story. Shine on me, shine on me. Shine, light, oh shine. Fill this land with your light and glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. much. You may be seated.
Thank you.
I might just.
Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor is a progressive spiritual community that emphasizes personal growth, living consciously, and making a positive difference in the world. As part of New Thought and the worldwide unity movement, we strive to be compassionate, inclusive, open-minded, service-oriented, abundant, and spirit-filled.
You know, unity teaches that each person is a unique individual expression of God. And our realization of that truth evolves as we expand our consciousness through prayer and meditation. Unity emphasizes that we create our experiences of life according to the thoughts and the feelings that we hold in our mind. Affirmative prayer is the highest form of creative thought, while meditation stills the mind and heightens our awareness of our oneness with Spirit, with each other, and with all of life. And living from that awareness, it transforms us, and in turn, it transforms the world.
Our affirmation for January is, I am a pure expression of God's peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Will you please affirm that with me?
I am a pure expression of God's peace, wholeness, and prosperity. And now it's time for some special music. What do you have for us today?
We have a Stow Good song today.
Ah, great. I love them. Thank you.
What if a prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. What if today I had the chance to move and sway? God leads the way in my life's dance. What if I knew without a doubt, no need to fear, God's right here within, without. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My life is a prayer.
That was beautiful. It really was. I think that's one of my absolute favorite songs of theirs that they do. But anyway, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Well, good morning, everyone. And again, welcome. So glad to have all of you here. And also, I want to welcome everybody again who's joining us online. So all of you out there, if you want to just sort of turn around and wave to that camera right up there, we are glad that you joined us online. And we have quite a few people that do join us online. Well, just yesterday, I came across a really, I thought, a funny little story. And this is about, and I'm going to apologize right now. For some reason, I'm a little hoarse today. So I'm probably going to be taking several swigs of water on a regular basis, including right now. Yeah, I was singing, and the more I sang, the more hoarse I was getting. So, I ran across this. It's a story about a Catholic priest and a rabbi who were chatting one day when the conversation turned to a discussion of job descriptions and promotion. So, the rabbi, "What do you have to look forward to in the way of promotion in your job?" asked the rabbi to the priest. "Well, I'm next in line for the Monsignor's job." Oh, thank you very much. Just in case. He says, "I'm next in line for the Monsignor's job," replied the priest. "Yes, and then what?" asked the rabbi. "Well, next, I can become a bishop," said the priest. "Yes, and then?" asked the rabbi. "Well, if I work really hard and do a good job as bishop, it's possible for me to become an archbishop," said the priest. "Okay, then what?" asked the rabbi. The priest was beginning to get a little bit exasperated and replied, "Well, with some luck and real hard work, I might become a cardinal." "And then," asked the rabbi, "and then what?" The priest is really starting to get mad and sort of replies, "With lots and lots of luck and some real difficult work, and if I'm in the right place at the right time and play my political game just right, maybe, just maybe, I can get elected pope." "Yes, and then what?" asked the rabbi. "Good grief," shouted the priest. "What do you expect me to become, God?" "Well," said the rabbi, "one of our boys made it." Like I said, I just ran across that. I enjoyed that. And as you know, I always enjoy a little bit of humor. I think laughter does us all some good. It really does. You know, each year I like to review and take a deeper look at our vision and our mission and our core values. We define a core value as a basic, or essential belief of a person or of an organization or a group. And another way of looking at core values is as a mindset. A mindset is a series of self-perceptions or beliefs that people or organizations hold about themselves, individually or in groups. And these determine our behavior, our outlook, and our mental attitude. So today, I want to explore our core value or mindset of abundance. The dictionary defines abundant as fully sufficient, present in great quantity, and richly supplied. Other definitions are plentiful, copious, rich, profuse, ample, lavish. And a related term is prosperity, meaning to flourish and thrive. So by claiming as a core value, abundant as a core value and a mindset, we acknowledge and affirm that we live in an abundant universe. We acknowledge that we live and we move and we have our being in a universal field of infinite potential, of infinite possibilities. This universal field of infinite possibilities is called by many names. Some call it God, some call it source, some call it divine mind or substance or supply, just to name a few. Jesus called it God. Jesus called it Spirit, and Jesus called it Father. He also says that I and the Father are one. And he also said that all that the Father has is mine. You know, Jesus frequently reminded his followers that all things are possible for those who believe. And these are all statements that come from an abundant mindset. An abundant mindset is a spiritual side of prosperity. The gateway to thriving and flourishing. So, New Thought author and founder of the religious science movement, Ernest Holmes, he wrote, "While it is true that a word can never express God or define God, it is also true that we cannot enjoy lasting wellness, abundance, creative self-expression, and wonderful freedom and fulfillment without a conscious relationship with our source and a recognition of our true identity. We must go beyond our little minds and third-dimensional memory banks and focus on the very real, invisible something within each of us, our divine wholeness and spiritual reality. This divine wholeness and spiritual reality is at the heart of the abundance and prosperity that I am talking about today. My talk title today is The Spiritual Side of Prosperity. You know, back in November, I was looking at my bookshelf, and you know, if you're like me, you had books, and I keep books. You know, because I'll read them. If I really like it, I'm going to keep that book, and I'll read it again. And so I think back in November, I was looking at my books, and I picked out one by Joel Goldsmith. Joel Goldsmith is one of my favorite spiritual teachers. And I picked out the book, The Heart of Mysticism. And I started reading that. So I read that book again last year, right before Christmas. And I made a couple of notes about prosperity. And one of the quotes was this one on the I'm showing you here. He said, let me see. Prosperity is not a matter of having money or things, but of having a consciousness of God as the source and supply of all good. So this quote influenced my title, The Spiritual Side of Prosperity, because I see having a consciousness of God as the source and supply of all good as the spiritual side of prosperity. It's really important to understand that in unity we don't see God as a being, but being itself. the creative force out of which everything arises. Since everything arises out of God, that means that we humans are also arise out of God. We are unique individual expressions of God made manifest. Our one and only purpose in this human life is to unfold more of God into this manifest universe. God is spirit. And to be manifest, it's up to us to manifest God here on this earthly plane. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore wrote, "True prosperity is not making money or putting out goods or developing property. It is determining what our souls require in order to cause them to unfold more of God." So we are each called to be the presence of God in this world. Each of us has unique resources, gifts, and talents to help us fulfill that calling. And when we give in service to our calling, everything we need to carry out that calling will become available to us. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual law. And one of these laws that Jesus taught is give and it shall be given. Give and it shall be given unto you. And he was really clear that he was not talking about just giving money. In the 6th chapter of Luke, which I have up here on the screen, this is the full quote. And he starts out by saying, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and will be put into your lap. For the measure you give will be the measure that you get back." I just love that quote. In other words, give people your trust, give them your mercy and your forgiveness, and you will receive the same thing. Our soul's fulfillment comes from establishing and growing our prosperity consciousness. As we build our capacity to maintain this level of awareness, we become acutely aware of the abundance that is already available to us and to others. We engage in giving as just one of a wide variety of exercises to build our capacity to maintain this consciousness. True prosperity happens when we live into our calling to be the presence of God. When we hold this prosperity consciousness, we find lasting fulfillment. Everything we need to support our calling will be given to us and flow through us abundantly. So by embodying and living our 5 unity principles, an abundant mindset develops naturally. You know, our first principle is that there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. It's everywhere presence. It is all power. It is all knowing. This is abundance. Our second principle follows the first. If there is only one, we are part of that oneness. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And just like Jesus said, it's your Father's good will to give you the kingdom. Jesus said, all that the Father has is mine. And it's true of you as well. We are spiritual beings connected with our source. And the more we become connected and get in alignment with the truth of who we are, all of our needs are met. In a talk that Charles Fillmore gave on Easter Sunday on April the 12th, 1914, he opened his message with saying this: the realization that man is spiritual being is the highest point of consciousness. Man never realizes what he is until he knows within himself that he is spiritual. This is the resurrection, the conscious knowledge that I am a spiritual being. And that Fillmore goes on to say, that this realization brings man into absolute being. This is the effective prayer, the creative prayer, the prayer that brings about the evolution, the consummation of all evolution, which is the union of God and man. So our third basic unity principle states that human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. So everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. And our reality is created by the thoughts and feelings that we hold in mind. Spiritual growth is about being able to see ourselves as the powerful spiritual beings that we truly are, created in the image and likeness of God, and living from that realization. As spiritual beings, we are unlimited, and we have infinite possibilities to choose from. This is an abundant mindset. This is the spiritual side of prosperity, this state of consciousness. My life, your life, is a manifestation of what we have created in mind. The images, the concepts, the beliefs. And by changing our mind, we can change our experience. You can take charge of your thoughts. You have the power to change your thoughts. You have the power to change your life. But your power is only a theory until it's demonstrated. This is where the fifth unity principle comes in. Our fifth principle says that knowing these principles is not enough. We must live the truth that we know. We have to take what we know from the core of our being and manifest it, demonstrate it. So it's important to become aware of what the limiting thoughts are that exist in our minds, and have the courage to confront them and deny that they have any power over you. What limiting thoughts are you holding in your mind? Thoughts of not enough, thoughts of not being good enough, thoughts of being not too old to do something, thoughts of not being smart enough to do something. All of these things are negative thinking that bind us. So it's important to be aware of the thoughts that we are holding in mind. And even more important, to be careful with the words that we speak. I never failed to be shocked by people that have been in unity for such a long time going around just complaining about them not feeling well and talking about lack and all of this. But it's something that's just constant. And these thoughts and these words bind us. But just like the song, we are free and we are unlimited. And we need to realize that and live from that truth. So, it's easy to get mesmerized and captivated and judge by appearance what looks like an abundant life. We are falsely taught that an abundant life is having a lot of things. But true abundance is about knowing the truth of who you are. Knowing that the kingdom of God is within you. Knowing that God is your source, your substance, and your supply. It is connecting and aligning with that source within you. It's about feeling a deeper connection with your source, which is pure love and joy and peace. It is having the awareness that you are connected to and one with the source from which all good comes. It is the awareness of God's presence within us. This is an abundant mindset. This is the spiritual side of prosperity. Again, one of my favorite spiritual teachers. He was a healer. Was Joel Goldsmith. I love his readings. He says, prosperity is not something that we seek or ask for from God, but something that we realize and demonstrate as our natural inheritance. Prosperity is not limited to material things, but includes spiritual, mental, emotional, and relational aspects of life. Prosperity is the expression of our true essence and divine potential in all areas of our being. We develop the awareness of God's presence within us through our daily practices of prayer and meditation. And our fourth unity principle states that our lives can be changed and transformed through the power of prayer. It is in the silence that we come to know the truth of our oneness. Charles Fillmore believed and taught that we establish ourselves in the consciousness of God through prayer and meditation. The whole universe moves to flow into us through its abundance of life and substance. This is obviously what Jesus had in mind when he said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all of these things will be given to you as well." One of the most popular unity speakers and writers was Eric Butterworth. You've heard me quote him before, and one of his books is titled "In the Flow of Life." And he says that the whole universe is on your side. Life is forever biased on the side of healing, on the side of overcoming, on the side of success. When you get yourself centered in the universal flow, you become synchronized with the divine bias for good. And listen to what the Chinese philosopher and mystic Lao Tzu wrote 2,500 years ago. He said, "The human spirit has its source in the divine fountain, which must be permitted to flow freely through man. Anyone who flows as life flows has solved the enigma of human existence and needs no other power. Anything is evil that blocks the flow of creative action, and everything is healthy and prosperous that flows with the universe." So being in the flow means being aware that the river of God's substance is flowing to us and through us at every moment. It is knowing that we live and that we move and that we have our being in this God substance. Being in the flow means accepting whatever comes and putting it to good use before passing it on. Going with the flow means allowing whatever comes to move on freely without holding on in any way. Quite simply, it is just letting go and letting God. So in your time of meditation this week, work on the realization that you are surrounded by a divine presence which wishes you only good, because you are expressing it. You are expressing its life. As Butterworth notes, The biting truth is that God makes you prosperous and successful in all of your ways if you do not make it too hard for God. Infinite mind will put ideas into your mind, words into your mouth, creativity into your hands, boundless opportunity before you, and guiding light on your way. All that is required is that you keep yourself centered in the creative flow. And you do that through your spiritual practice of prayer and meditation. You keep in tune through maintaining positive thoughts. You keep responsive by your faith and moving in the direction of your dreams. So I want to close with the quote that I started out with Ernest Holmes, that I read at the beginning of the talk. He said, "While it is true that a word can never express or define God, it is also true that we cannot enjoy lasting wellness, abundance, creative self-expression, and wonderful freedom and fulfillment without a conscious relationship with our source and a recognition of our true identity. We must go beyond our little minds and third-dimensional memory banks and focus on the very real, invisible something within each of us, our divine wholeness, our spiritual reality." Let's prepare for our meditation. So I do invite you to just relax into your seat and open your hearts and open your minds to that presence within you, to that peace, to that joy, to that love, to that strength and power that abides in each and every one of us. We open our hearts and minds to that. And as we sit here in our chairs and bring our attention fully, completely to this present moment, let's just sing that little song.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
So just allow yourself to be fully open to that presence, to that guidance that lies within you. We are so much more than we think we are. We are created in the image and the likeness of God. And God, that likeness is spirit. We are spiritual beings. And there is only one presence and one power, and we are connected with that one presence and that one power. Just allow yourself to realize as we sit here, realize what that means to be one with God, with Spirit, with the divine mind, with whatever name you want to call it, with that which is the great I am. We are one with that. And being one with the great I am, being fully present with the truth of who we are. All the guidance that we need, all the strength we need, all the healing that we need is right here and right now, available to us if we will just open and receive. and realize that at no time are we ever separated from our source. So we're going to spend a little bit of time now in the silence, being fully open, both mind and soul and heart, and allow Spirit to speak to us, to allow our inner spirit, the infinite intelligence of the universe that dwells within us, allow it to inform us as we just sit here, fully open, fully receptive, and just listening, totally quiet, and just listening to that still, small voice. As we bring our attention back to this present moment, into this room, we allow ourselves to just feel the presence of Spirit, knowing that at any time we can connect completely and totally to Spirit, to that wisdom that is within us. No matter what situations that we might find ourselves in, Spirit is with us. Its guidance is with us. Its wisdom is with us. Its love, its peace, its light. Whatever we need is within us. And we can call upon it at any time. So we go forth this coming week and just allow ourselves to remember who we are, the truth of who we are, the spiritual beings that we are, the powerful spiritual beings that we are, all the strength and all the power that we could ever possibly need is there for us in any challenge that we might find ourselves in. So knowing this to be the truth, we just allow ourselves to feel a very strong feeling of gratitude for this life, for this center, for each other, and for the truth of who we are. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend David. You know, when I first came to Unity, I knew it was the place to be because the ministers always talked about truth. And I thought, that's what I've been looking for, the truth. And your talk made me feel so good, happy, great. And what a feeling that will give you abundance. But that feeling, and I think it's feeling that gives us that abundance. I remember taking a course once here at Unity on abundance, and after the course was over, about a few days later, I got this gift card in the mail. And I was so surprised, but I think my attitude had changed, you know? It's so interesting how your feelings, you know, that promotes abundance, I do believe, and gratitude is one of them.
And gratitude is one of them, right?
And another thing is music that brings gratitude, and the music that came from these two today was fantastic. Thank you so much for your voice, Angela, and your piano, Michael. Thank you.
And again, thank you, Leo, for being over there and taking care of all of our video and live streaming. Thank you so much. It does take a village. Well, so at this time, let us take to heart our vision, our mission, and statement of being.
We have a global vision. Will you please speak that with me? Our vision is
a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we have a sacred mission. Will you say that with me? We inspire and empower spiritual growth to awaken us and transform the world.
And we have a personal statement of being. Will you please say that with me?
I am a dynamic center of the Christ light, mighty to unfold my good and radiate that good to all. And we have a few announcements today. So do please join us upstairs after the service. We will be celebrating our January birthdays, and so there will be cake and coffee too.
The outreach team is collecting cans of coffee and jars of peanut butter to be distributed to those in need. Please bring your donations before February 11th, and together we can make a difference.
And remember to mark your calendar for our upcoming annual general meeting, and that'll be on Sunday, January the 28th, immediately following the service.
The seminar committee is pleased to let you know that we are beginning our annual planning process for seminars in 2024. We will again have a flip chart upstairs in the hospitality lounge. Please add your ideas to the flip chart. There are stickers available as well, so be sure to vote for your favorite ideas, and you'll have until Sunday, February 11th, to contribute your ideas.
And the winter session of Spirit Groups is starting. Some of them have already started or just about to. And so check your newsletter, and we also, I think, sent out an email blast to give you all the information on the different Spirit Groups that are going on with their information on their times and what they're about.
Join our empowering circle. Discover the serenity of shared wisdom and spirituality in the midst of like-minded women. Immerse yourself in uplifting discussions, guided meditation, and soul-nourishing alignments. Starting January 22nd, Mondays every other week at 6:30 p.m.
You know, here we're going to try to help people who needs rides to our Sunday service here. And so if you're able to give a ride, or if you need a ride, please visit our website or sign up in the hospitality room. We have a clipboard up there with a sign-up place. So if you need a ride or if you can provide a ride, please look at that and put your name there. We appreciate it because there's a lot of people that could use the help with getting here.
On Sunday, February 4th, Randy Haluza-Delay, an academic and activist, will participate in divine conversations with Reverend David during the service. After our first of the month potluck, join Randy for a nature and spirit workshop presented by the seminar team from 12:30 until 2:30 p.m.
So next Sunday is January the 28th. No, not.
Yeah,
No, is it the 20? No.
well, today's the 21st, so I think.
Oh, I guess it is the 20th. Okay. Anyway, next Sunday, what I'm trying to say is Mariette Jones is going to be our guest speaker. And her topic is Think a New Thought.
Okay, and I'm just going to remind you about Susan Fabro. She's our chaplain today for prayer. And there she is over there, yeah. Okay. All of our classes, programs, and services are made possible by your generous donations. Our heartfelt thanks for your continuous support. We've created many easy ways to donate, which you can find on our website.
And for those of you here, we have a love offering box right over there as you come in from the foyer. And again, it is your kind donations that support us. And so we are grateful for your financial support. We're grateful for all of your support because grateful not just for your financial support, but for all of you out there that volunteer in some capacity. We have an incredible team of volunteers, and it's just amazing how many people here in our community volunteer in so many different areas. And so it's a team like this that really make this all possible. So I do want to thank you for all of your donations, of your time, your talent, and your treasure. We are grateful.
We invite you now to stand, and let's open our hearts and minds in gratitude as we close by speaking out loud or silently our love offering prayer, which will be followed by the peace song and closing with the prayer for protection.
Divine love in me and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us.
I am light.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am love.
And the power of God protects us.
I am power.
And the presence of God watches over us.
I am presence.
And wherever we are, God is.
I am divine.
And my friends, you truly are. Thank you so much for being here. And please join us upstairs. Thank you, everyone.